misconceptions. We've got truth in our possession. No room for doubt, no time to waste. It's time to put flat Earth in its place. Here comes the smackdown.
Welcome everybody to Tuesday night. I hope you're having a great night. I am your host, MC Toon, and tonight we have a very different guest on. We have Erik ORION. Welcome, Erik.
Hello, Mike.
Glad to have you here. So I found Erik, a friend of mine on X sent me a little a comment, said, "Hey, have you seen this flat Earth model?" I said, "No, that's a different one than I've seen before." And so I sent an email to Erik and said, "Do you want to come on here and let's talk about it?" He said, "Sure." So here he is. So Erik, what do you have? You want to introduce yourself a little?
Yeah, hi. Thank you for having me on your show. I'm originally from New Jersey, but I'm living down here in sunny Florida, and I have a new and unique theory of our universe that I would like to present to the world. It's different than any other theory that's been provided so far. My theory is called, well, it's basically a flat Earth theory, but it's slanted. It's a slanted flat Earth theory of our universe. Okay, it's my theory that we have two suns. We have two flat Earths slanted at 45 degrees, and both Earths rotate. One Earth is our present, and the second Earth is our past. It's my theory that each Earth is approximately 100 million miles away from each other. And I came up with that figure because that's what Nikola Tesla claimed to have heard or received signals from in 1900. He had claimed to receive signals from 100 million miles away and claimed it could have been Mars or it could have been Earth's sister planet. Okay, but I'll talk about that a little later. So it's my theory. It's definitely new and unique, and it differs from the Vatican's theory that our universe is and our solar system is heliocentric. Okay, it's not. Okay, they also, at one time, they claimed it was geocentric, where the Earth was the center of our universe for many years. And then they finally came up with a conclusion that it was heliocentric, where everything revolved around the sun. Unfortunately, all these alleged scientists, they were all Vatican agents, and that's all Christian science, as far as I'm concerned. Galileo, Copernicus, and Kepler's accepted heliocentric theory of our universe isn't right either. My theory is based upon sacred geometry and and the laws of physics. Everything spins around, everything orbits properly. I can explain for or my model explains for a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse, no problem. Oh, I encourage people to check out my website to view my theory and my diagrams for themselves. It's flatearthsciencetruth.com, and let me know what you think.
All right. So when Tesla got this message, how did he mention how he knew how far away the message came from?
I'm claiming to be the first person to send digital binary codes to our past Earth number one to Nikola Tesla in the form of 1.2.3. In Nikola Tesla's writings, he had responded that he received messages, and he claims to have received, he answered with number 4 in response to the 1.2.3. But I'm claiming to be the one that actually sent him that. I'm claiming in the year 2000, I built a Tesla transmitter based upon Tesla's patents, which is basically the Wi-Fi that we have today. NASA's claiming that if you want to contact,
yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can you describe in detail a little more how this antenna and radio worked?
Well, it's basically a computer system with extra crystals, and it operates on different megahertz. NASA claims if you want to talk to extraterrestrials or other planets, you want to use high frequencies. I'm claiming that's just the opposite. I'm claiming that the actual frequency I used was approximately, well, it was in the low 703 megahertz. That was the signal that I used. I'm not claiming to have received any digital signals back from Nikola Tesla other than what he wrote in his writings. My theory of our universe also is based upon, there's a theory of a quantum entanglement. Okay, that theory of a quantum entanglement basically states that you can have a molecule that splits in half, and both halves have a direct relationship and an influence on each other. So my two planet Earth theory is in direct relationship to the quantum entanglement theory also. To go back to Tesla, Tesla claimed that he heard signals, and he claimed it was from 100 million miles away. That's how I got the idea that it was 100 million miles, and not any closer, not any farther away.
So, but I was curious still about how did he determine that it was 100 million miles away? Did he mention that?
I'm not sure. In his writings, I don't think he talks about that. He just said that it was either Earth's sister planet or it could have been from Mars. That's what he claims.
Because the little bit I know about radio transmission, just receiving a transmission, you can't know how far away it was sent from. You need some additional mechanism to determine the distance.
Well, in my communications, I had mentioned that it was the year 2000 our time. So I can only assume, based upon his writings, he claimed to have received these communications in 1900, that it were 100 years apart. That's what I deduced based upon that. Now, I'm not sure how Tesla found out or deduced that it was 100 million miles away. I have no idea.
Okay. And then, so the radio you made, you said it had a couple extra crystals. I mean, is there more to it?
Quartz crystals. Very big quartz crystals.
Yeah. Is there more to it than just taking a radio and dropping a couple extra quartz crystals inside? I don't know. How did you do it?
Tesla has a patent, means an apparatus for transmitting signals through the natural medium. I don't have the number in front of me right now, his patent number, but it's public knowledge. You just have to be able to decipher his patent drawings and try it for yourself.
Okay. But now Tesla, it wasn't digital because Tesla didn't have any digital capability then. So it wasn't like Wi-Fi.
Binary. Well, it's binary, which we know it is digital as opposed to analog, zeros and ones. He was able to decipher it eventually.
So, typically if you're doing a digital transmission over radio, there's some sort of an encoding that they do. But Tesla couldn't have done any digital encoding. It would have just been like you said, just dots,
zeros. Zeros and
so
ones
like
with the light flashing,
like Morse code. So not really, not binary as such as.
I'm claiming it was binary, zeros and ones.
Okay, all right.
That's what I'm. No one. You don't have to believe any of this. This is what I'm claiming.
Do you still have this radio?
Oh yeah.
Do you have pictures of it, or is it in the house there?
That'll have to be for another time. That'll have to be for another show. Well, as you know, radio waves are infinite. There's no end to them. You could send out a signal that goes on infinitely.
Yeah.
Radio waves.
Yeah, inverse square law applies, and of course it takes time to get somewhere. So if you sent something in the year 2000, 24 years ago, it will have traveled all of 24 light years from here. And it would be rather faint if you weren't somehow focusing it, right?
Well, I'm claiming my communications were based on a Hertzian wave transmitter. They transmit communications at the speed of light.
Yeah.
Hertzian waves.
Yep. Okay. So he got this message And it was at the radio was tuned to 703 megahertz.
That's the frequency I
was that from
transmitting.
him? Was that from him?
No, that was just from me.
Okay.
Whatever NASA was doing, I wanted to do the opposite. I don't believe NASA one bit.
But NASA uses radios to transmit stuff too. So
at high frequencies, they claim high frequencies. Well, I'm claiming it's just
703 megahertz is kind of high. It's what cell phones use. It's there's
compared to the gigahertz. Compared to the modern gigahertz, like 2.4 gigahertz or whatever. It's not exactly too low, but
the 5G allocation spectrum in Canada is 600 megahertz. Part of it. So it's right in there with the cell phone range. A lot of cell phones were traditionally at 900 megahertz, so pretty close. And then they moved on to 1800 megahertz, so double 900, but still not far from 700. And then there's some unlicensed spectrum in the United States. I think it's 915 megahertz is an unlicensed spectrum, so anybody can use that spectrum as long as their duty cycle is less than 1% and their power, I think, transmission has to be less than 1 watt. Right. So anyway, the point is NASA uses all sorts of frequencies, so 700 isn't in or out of any particular frequency. So, all right. So why does the Vatican have anything to do with it? Because the shape of the Earth was determined long before Vatican, and they were very resistant to the Catholic Church in general was very resistant to the introduction of the sun being in the middle of the solar system and the Earth rotating around it. Right? They rather didn't like it that they had proposed it, and Giordano was for other things too was burned at the stake for promoting that idea.
Well, it's a good thing I don't live back in those times.
Well, no, they would have liked your idea because they rejected the Catholic Church rejected the idea of the Earth orbiting the sun. Right?
Well, the Catholic Church has a theory like one Earth, one God. So in their teachings, there couldn't possibly be two Earths, in this amazing infinite universe, because that go against the teachings of their Christian beliefs, which I call Christian Science nonsense or non-science.
Okay, yeah, and to be clear, there is a kind of a cult offshoot of Christianity called Christian Science, and they have their Christian Science reading rooms. That's not what you're talking about, is it?
No, well, I know some Christians believe in flat Earth theory, but that's not possible. On a slant,
I agree.
It's possible as far as I'm concerned.
Oh.
But a flat Earth, completely flat, the way the Christians believe, and there's a dome and a firmament, and on a turtle or some bullshit like that, No.
Yeah, it's on elephants, and then the elephants are on turtles. And what's underneath the turtle? Another turtle. And you know what's under that turtle? Another turtle. It's turtles all the way down.
So most flat earthers get called idiots because realistically, science doesn't promote their theory. But my theory is completely different than the typical flat Earth theory. It's similar but different. It's a flat Earth on a slant, two discs.
So are they rotating around each other, or are they just they're spinning on a top?
They're separated by 100 million miles.
Yeah,
and a moon in between. And they're both spinning in the opposite direction. One's spinning clockwise, and the other one's spinning counterclockwise.
Oh, so they see stars and sun move in a different direction than we do.
If they're spinning backwards, I would assume so. Yeah.
So the sun rises in the west and sets in the east.
That's a good question.
Well, it would have to if they're spinning the opposite direction.
If they're spinning backwards, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And does the slant change, or is it fixed at 45 degrees?
It's my theory that we're always at a 45-degree slant and centrifugal force. like the rotor in the old amusement parks.
Yeah.
It hold you against the wall, then it would go up a little bit, then you get pinned against the wall. But that would enable all the tides.
But
Right? If we were completely flat,
hold on.
okay, there would be no tides.
Hold on.
Okay.
Let's see here. We've got the here's my Deliverance sticker here. So all right, so we've got the Deliverance is a band I like. I saw them last summer
cool.
in Ohio. Okay,
Yeah.
so we've got the flat Earth disc in space here, and it's tipped, and then there's another one over here, and then
they're both rotating.
It's rotating this way, right?
Yeah, and possibly spinning.
Also doing this.
Possibly spinning around. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, possibly.
Okay. And then, but it would be, I would think that if it were spinning like this, that we would be shoved to the outside. Centrifugal force would push us toward the outside, toward what the other flat earthers say is the ice wall, right?
They're claiming there's an ice wall, but it's
I know.
my theory.
I'm not saying that you do. I'm just saying so that we get the direction right. Centrifugal force would push you toward the outside of the circle.
It's my theory that it would be just the opposite. It would pin you to the ground. That's just my theory.
Okay, so it's something other than centrifugal force then, because centrifugal force
air pressure, air pressure and gravity. Obviously, I believe in gravity. You know, some flat earthers don't believe in gravity.
Obviously, you believe in gravity because what flat earther doesn't believe in gravity? Well, all of them, but you.
Well, they believe in the rapture, you know, and there's no gravity when you all die, and all the good Christians fly up in space.
They have a different. They do have some variations on their religions. There are some Christians, some Christian adjacent. There are some Jews. There are some Muslims. There are some wacky out there religious people too.
These are just my theories that are different than all the other ones. So this is new,
the
unique.
Better word would be hypothesis. Right, a theory kind of means more than just a guess within science.
I've done a lot of research. I've done models and my own simulations.
Yeah, so it's still a hypothesis.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but a theory is only a theory until you can prove it a scientific fact. As far as I'm concerned, I can't prove it a scientific fact.
But that's not how science actually is. So science uses the word theory to describe something that's been well confirmed. General conversation, people use theory to mean guess. But within science, the theory of relativity is the theory of relativity is it gained that moniker of theory because it passed a bunch of tests. It's able to predict things. Until then, it's a hypothesis or a proposal or something like that. So, not super important. Just
to me, they're one and the same. To me, they're one and the same. A theory and a hypothesis. I don't know. Until I can prove it.
In common parlance, that's the case. But within the realm of science, that's definitely not the case. So it's a hypothesis is really what you have.
Okay.
But a hypothesis, to really be a hypothesis, needs to be testable. So some of the ideas might be a little difficult to test, I suppose. But
I need to create a simulation, a computer model, a computer animation model. But I don't have NASA's budget and to do that kind of thing.
Well,
maybe there's someone out there that can help me out. I don't know.
Well,
I'll pay you.
You know, Edmund Halley didn't have the budget when he predicted the 1715 eclipse. He did it as a hobbyist, right? So you don't need budget to do it because history is full of people that did things for fun or as a hobby or in their spare time, you know. Okay, so if we're sitting there, if we're diagonal to the sun, in your diagram, the sun is like a long distance that way, right?
Yes.
And the Earth is spinning. So why wouldn't the sun, like if you're at the North Pole, always be 45-degree angle to you? Or
well, I don't believe there is a North or South Pole. There's probably a center. There could be a hollow Earth, possibly.
Well, call it the center. There's a sheet of ice at the North Pole. There's an annual marathon there in April, so people go there. It's not forbidden or anything. Thousands of people have been there. It's just ice though, so you can't even put a building there because it's ice. So anyway, so So wherever, say, far north as you can go, wouldn't you just see the sun just at 45 degrees all day long? Just right? How could it ever change angle if the whole Earth is?
Well, there's two moons in the way that orbit our Earth, I'm claiming. And based upon the time of the day, just like a clock, I'm claiming that the outer moon represents the minute hand, and the inner moon in the orbit represents the hour hand. And each revolution, I'm claiming that our Earth rotates one revolution every minute, not every 24 hours. That's my theory.
Okay.
NASA claims that our Earth is 24,000 miles in circumference, and it travels at 100.
But Eric, it was long before NASA. That the radius of the Earth, the circumference of the Earth, was determined centuries before NASA. So blaming it on NASA doesn't do you much, because Jean Piccard measured it in the 1700s.
Well, regardless, they're claiming we travel at 1,000 miles an hour, if I'm not mistaken, which is absurd. A spinning ball at 1,000 miles an hour, we'd all fling off, and that'd be it.
Did you? But now, did you do the science for that?
Science is
the science for centrifugal acceleration is well understood. Right, so 1,000 miles an hour at a radius of about 6,300 kilometers gives you a very particular centrifugal acceleration, 0.03 meters per second squared, which isn't a lot. Right,
I was not aware of the formula.
Yeah, I mean, this is a science discussion. I would have.
Oh yeah.
You said things would have flown off, but you didn't apply the formula, so maybe don't say that things would fly off until you've done the formula, right?
Well, a spinning ball at 1,000 miles an hour, nothing's going to stick to a spinning ball, and water doesn't stick to balls.
But I already
a level surface.
But I already covered the actual physics for that, right?
Well, water doesn't stick to a ball.
But you agree with gravity.
Yeah,
gravity is what pulls water to the ball.
Gravity does not hold. Water does not curve. Water does not curve.
That's a separate topic. But
okay.
Does gravity pull water down?
Does gravity pull water down? That's a good one.
You don't disagree with gravity. You say gravity exists. You said obviously.
I think it pulls everything down.
Okay.
I think gravity pulls everything down.
Okay. So we've got on the globe. We've got at the equator where it's spinning the fastest. We've got the entire mass of the Earth. This is how the globe works. Okay. And we have about 9.8 meters per second squared acceleration toward the center of the Earth. And then the centrifugal force at the equator, where it's the highest, is about 0.03 meters per second squared, the opposite direction. So when you do the math on that, you get 9.77 meters per second squared toward the center of the Earth. So water doesn't fly off. It stays there. That's applying physics. That's applying science. That's using the gravity that you didn't reject. Right? So I'm used to flat earthers saying gravity doesn't exist. But you say it does. So, right? That's how the globe works.
How do you explain what's underneath the globe? The continents that are below. They don't just fall off? Everything's got to be flat. Otherwise, it'll fall the hell off.
What do you mean fall
everything
off?
Pulls down?
Hold on. What do you mean fall off?
Everything's upside down, right? On a globe?
No.
And when it spins around, there's continents like South America, Australia. You got a globe? Let's see the globe.
Yeah, so which way?
There's your Christian symbolism there. There's your Christian symbolism.
This predates Christianity, by the way.
Yeah, well, they're all wrong.
So for here's the direction of down for here.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So upside down would be somebody with their head, the other direction, right?
Someone on the bottom of the globe. Why don't they fall off?
Hold on.
Why don't they fall off? Gravity does not hold people upside down.
Easy answer here. Right here. Do you see the direction I'm pointing? The direction I'm pointing is the direction of gravity in Australia.
That doesn't matter. No, everything falls down. No, everything goes down.
Down is this way. Down is this direction.
Down is from the North Pole down.
That's not how physics works.
It's you're explaining Christian science to the world.
No, I'm not. This all predates Christianity.
Well, it's all wrong. They're all wrong. It was they all thought it was flat.
It predates Christianity.
Yeah.
that this shape.
Why? Because Columbus allegedly sailed around the world, so it's a
No,
globe.
no,
The Vatican are globe salesmen.
I'm saying
That's all they're doing.
This predates Christianity. Is my point.
Yeah.
Greeks before Christ
Eh.
said the Earth was a globe. So
And
so
they were
this
all
isn't
agents, Christian agents.
They could not be Christian agents.
Well, before Christ,
because Christianity did not exist.
Didn't exist. Yes, I agree with you there. Of course, before Christ, so they were wrong too.
Okay, fine.
In my opinion,
but
I'll say in my opinion. There we go.
That's okay, but to be consistent, you can't say that they were Christian agents or somehow
Before
related
Christ.
to the Vatican if the Vatican didn't exist yet. Even on your other Earth, they didn't exist yet because the other Earth is 100 years before them. Right? So the time travel stuff doesn't help. Anyway, this is how the globe works. This is how physics work. This weighs down.
This is Christian theory.
It has nothing to do with Christianity.
Oh, it does. You're explaining Christian
this
theory,
direction,
which is not science. It's nonsense.
Oh my gosh.
It's not real science.
If you don't know how centrifugal force works, I don't think you should be talking about.
Yeah, the faster you spin, the more you get sucked into the bottom of it. The faster it spins, that's all you need to know.
That's not how.
So at 1,000 miles an hour, you get to fly on a ball. You go flying off into space.
All right, that's not how centrifugal force works. But okay, that's fine. Let's move on. So there's so many weird things about this. So all right, explain to me again how on the disc. Do you have a map, right? You still have the same map as other flat earthers, don't you?
I don't have a map. No, I don't have a map.
You have no idea what the.
Well, hey, I'm not your typical flat earther. I'm the slanted. I'm the only one in existence. A slanted flat earther.
I get that, but your book has a circle, right? That the Earth is a circle on your book. So
yeah, I'm claiming we're a flat disc, a circle, like an elliptical disc.
Okay,
but we're not round inflated ball.
So this is the common, the common map that they like, right? So, do you think it's like this somehow a little bit?
I agree that all the continents are on top, all the land is on top, and the water is on the bottom. Yes.
Okay. All right. So now the question is, so here it is, and the sun is 45 degrees, right?
Yeah.
So how does the sun set if it's some long distance off that direction?
Well, the Earth is constantly spinning around, and there's two moons that block it, depending upon the time of the day.
They block it. The problem is though that I've been to you live in Florida. I've been to the shore in Florida. When the sun sets, it's not because something gets in the way that's in the air. It's that the horizon gets in the way. It's the edge of the water gets in the way, not the moon.
Well,
right.
I'm saying we rotate, and the moon's in the way.
Okay, so it rotates like this, and the moon blocks the sun somehow.
Yes.
But the sun isn't blocked, obviously, by anything other than the horizon.
Well, they also have solar simulators. The government has satellites up in space in the same orbit. They're basically floating mirrors in space. Solar simulators that help reflect the image of the sun back, or the light of the sun back to the sun.
So NASA has been doing this for centuries.
Might have been Tesla. Maybe it was aliens.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, you invited me.
Oh my gosh.
There are solar simulators. There's patents.
I wish this was a lot stronger.
Drink the Kool-Aid. You'll feel better. Drink the Kool-Aid.
No, unfortunately,
drink the Kool-Aid.
It's zero proof.
Drink the Kool-Aid and take the red pill. You'll feel much better.
Which, ironically, is as much proof as you've had. Okay. So, all right. Your book. In your book, you say that there was some invention that you had that you traveled to the other Earth or to our past or something.
Let me explain that. All
Yeah.
right. Obviously, that's a crazy, wild claim. And the only reason I make that, I have an incident with missing time. When I was 15 years old, I have an incident with missing time. And then later on in life, I recognized someone in a photo with Nikola Tesla that I think looks like me. I don't have any recollection of me being on a flying saucer or anything like that, but I do see someone in the photo from 1915 at the very end who I believe is me. And I have no idea what happened with this missing time a long time ago. So that's the most elaboration I'm going to talk about that at this particular time.
Okay, so there's a section of your life that you don't recall.
Well, here's what happened. When I was 15 years old, I was at scout camp. Okay, I went to sleep in my tent, and about 6 o'clock in the morning, I woke up about 200 yards away, standing up with no idea where I was. And there were no footprints leading back to where I was. And somehow I got out of my zipper tent and my mosquito netting, and the tent was all like closed up. The flaps are all closed up. So I have at least 8 hours of missing time, and I wasn't sleepwalking. I've never sleptwalked before. That's what I think. So I think something happened. Missing time. I could be mistaken, but I definitely have missing time that night.
Okay, so missing time, and the obvious conclusion is that you were visiting Tesla.
No, that wasn't the obvious conclusion. Only based upon the photo from the 1915 radio engineers banquet. There's someone in the photo that resembles me when I was 15 years old. That looks identical. When I look at that photo, it's like I'm looking in the mirror. That's what I think. So somehow, maybe that was me in the past.
1915.
1915, right?
Okay, and if this past Earth is 100 years prior, so this happened in 2015.
Maybe time fluctuates.
So now it's not the same.
Apparently not. Time must fluctuate.
All right. So I have that picture from, was it in your book or on your website, I think?
Yeah. You can it was from Margaret Cheney. She did a biography on Nikola Tesla. I'm pretty sure that's where I saw the photo.
Okay. But no, just where I got it. So there I'm
okay. I'm right down the end there.
Yeah, so there at the end. That's at the end.
I'm claiming that when I look at that, I see myself at 15 years old, me looking at right there.
Okay. But the time, but it's not, it doesn't match the 100 years.
Yeah, it doesn't match the 100 years, right? The time continuum. So maybe there was a time shift. I don't know.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm mistaken.
I mean,
there's always a possibility.
In your book, you actually labeled that photo as you.
Me. Yeah. I'm telling you, if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't put it in there. I have no idea who that is. If anyone can do some research and find out who that is, please tell me. Then I'll be glad to say, okay, I made a mistake. Sorry, world. But when I look at that, I see myself looking back at me when I was 15.
Okay. Now, how much research did you do on that?
There's not much research to do. I couldn't find anything really in regard to the National Banquet of Engineers.
Did you find this picture?
No, I didn't see that. I did not see that. No.
Yeah, that's another one.
Oh, that's way in the end over there. Okay, so maybe this is the full picture then.
It's not the full picture. It's not on the end. It's in the middle.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, okay, I see. Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
The one that you say is you is in.
Okay. Well, that looks a little different there. That looks a little different. Okay. I see Tesla in the back over there. I see.
Yeah, it's the same picture, just not cropped.
Yeah, just bigger. It's a bigger. Yeah, the bigger picture. Okay. Well, there's a very good possibility that I'm completely mistaken here. So I do not see the same person. Doesn't look the same to me now.
No, it's there. The same.
I believe it.
The same guy that's definitely not you is still there.
Well, and this photo, yeah, I agree. Okay.
So a little question.
I'll retract that. I will retract that from my book and say that that definitely does not look like me. I will agree that does not look like me.
Because there's another problem. Well, it's the same. This is the same picture, just not cropped.
Well, the time continuum, right? I'm saying it's 100 years, and that was 1915, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't match your missing time. The other problem is,
I I agree. I agree
If-
100%. Sorry, Mike.
yeah.
I will retract. I will publicly
Oh.
retract that and take that out of my book.
All
That does
right.
not look like me. I agree from that picture. I
It's
appreciate that.
I mean, it's the same. This is you.
Well, that one I look.
It's the exact same picture. It's just not cropped, right? So I can zoom into the same one.
Well, yeah, zoom in. Could you zoom in, please?
That
Let me see.
That you
Whoa,
said was you.
whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute.
Hold on.
Yeah, go to the right. Let me see. Next one over. Next one over. Yeah,
Right there with the sleepy eyes.
yeah, that's the one. That's the photo. That's no. Okay, I'm mistaken. No, that does look like me, but now it doesn't 100%. So I am mistaken. Yes,
All right.
it's a lookalike. Someone who I thought. That's a great shot. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. No, I do not see myself in that picture blown up, but before I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree 100% there. Okay, thank you. Okay, that was a big mistake on my part,
Right.
but I really thought that person.
So
but I agree 100%. That does not
Eric,
look like me.
that picture was not hard to find. I just typed in 1915 radio engineer meeting, and that was the first one that came up.
The only one I got was the one that I got from Margaret Cheney's Tesla book.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm way off on that. I apologize to
All
you
right.
and the world. I will change my book, and that was a mistake. I'm human. I make mistakes.
Yeah.
I did think that was me, but I will change that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Mike.
All right. Okay. So how is it that you discovered that that the Earth is tipped at 45 degrees?
Based upon, I did it probably at least 30 or 40 different mock-ups, different models, and the basic Christian flat Earth theory just doesn't make sense. But on an angle, when things rotate, that would explain the water movement, the different tides. That's my conclusion. The 45-degree angles.
I would think that it would all just slosh down to this side, just hang out down there, and then as it rotated, it was just still all stay down there, and maybe
I'm thinking it sloshes completely.
Drip off the side, like over the edge.
I'm thinking it slops around
and gets
Yeah,
the
continually
turtles
slopping
wet,
around.
of course. And then when they need a drink, they're like, I got a little ocean water dripping down on them. So you didn't discover this. You just said, well, that one I like.
This one makes sense to me. Like I said, I did several different diagrams and formulas and calculations, and that one seemed to make the most sense. The 45-degree angle as opposed to a flat Earth.
Okay, but now
nothing would drain.
But the let's see. What do you say? You say it's based on science, right?
Yeah, rotation. Everything rotates. Everything's balanced. And the sacred geometry. Do you see the orbit with all the sacred geometry with the 12-pointed dodecahedron, dodecahedron. I think dodecahedron. Dodecahedron. Yeah, the dodecahedron, which I'm claiming represents our clock. You know, we got 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and that's our orbit.
So
and we have.
But where did you get that from?
That's just my theory, based upon my theory or hypothesis, as you like to call it, that we have a second Earth. And I thought, well, how the hell could we have a second Earth? My first thought was that behind the sun, we might have had a second Earth orbiting us that we couldn't see. Yeah. Oh, great. Thank you. Yeah. My first thought when I was making my diagrams, if we had a second Earth, was the heliocentric theory, but we had a second Earth behind the sun where we couldn't see it. You know, with telescopes, unless you were up in a space shuttle, you know, up in space, then you might be able to see the second planet. Then I realized that wouldn't be possible. So I went through many other diagrams and calculations till I came up with this particular one where we have.
Eric, I know you didn't do any calculations. You didn't do any. Right?
What do you mean? I took every moon.
What calculation did you do?
I took the dodecahedron, okay, and I put two Earths in there.
Okay,
and I made it balanced.
But where's
and
the
it made it spin around like our clock.
Okay, what
Those are the calculations. I made it as close to our clock as I possibly could, and it works.
What calculations did you do then? None of that was a calculation.
Hey, when you did everything is a calculation. When you have two moons orbiting, okay, an outer moon and an inner moon, one moon is the minute hand, one moon is the hour hand. Okay, and that just like our clock, depending upon how fast the Earth moves, I'm claiming it moves one rotation every minute. So that's the second hand, and it moves just like a clock would. So those are the calculations based upon our clock. I just picked it out of my ass. Is that what you think? And just threw it together and say, "Hey, look what I got." No.
Yeah, but I'm still. None of that was actually a calculation. I mean, I've done calculations.
Good for you. I'm happy for you. You didn't do this one, did you? This one works. This one works.
How does it work?
Hey, the moons spin around, and it works. It works. Just like right now, you're looking at this diagram.
Dude, your New Jersey,
12:15.
Your New Jersey's coming out a little bit there. Have you heard the Jerky Boys? You know that
those guys are great. I used to like those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hearing a little bit of that as it just works. It just works.
It works. I'm in the process of making a computer simulation. Then I'll send it to you. Right. If I can get someone to help me spin these around and show that it simulates our perfect clock and our time. And I manually did that by moving it around. It works like a clock. At my theory.
Okay.
So once again, you don't have to believe it.
So why is there another sun? What's the other sun for?
There are two suns.
But why? What led you to think that there is a second sun? What science?
Well, that would make my theory possible. The 45-degree angle theory, the slanted flat Earth would make it all possible.
How did the second sun make that possible?
They're both similarly charged. Okay. So think of it as magnetism. They're both pushing each other away. All right. There's a magnetic field over there. So the second sun works. And I'm claiming you can see it from the Antarctica. That's why people are banned. Most people are banned from the Antarctica, not because of an ice wall, because they can see a second sun from our Earth. Like
if they peer over the edge.
I'm sure there's a Vatican observatory and a NASA observatory along with the Navy base. McMurdo, around McMurdo, where they won't let you near.
The thousands of people go there.
Not these places.
McMurdo, yeah. There's
McMurdo, yeah. There's other bases out besides McMurdo that most people don't know about, and they won't let you in unless you sign a non-disclosure agreement or you're a scientist.
And how do you know this?
Hey, you do your research.
Okay, what was the result of your research? Where did you find out this information?
Oh, it's public knowledge. Do your own research.
I have, and I found nothing.
Yeah, what did you find out?
I found none of this. I read the treaty. I read the Antarctic Treaty that says that freedom of scientific investigation is protected.
Yeah, well, there you go.
They're not allowed to stop people from doing scientific investigation.
No, you got to be a scientist. So the general public is not allowed up there. You have to be a doctor or a scientist and doctor.
It doesn't say that in the treaty, though.
Well,
I did my research. It didn't say that. So
it says that.
If you said you did some research and you found that, then you should have a citation for it, right?
I'll find a citation for you. Don't worry. I'll get back to you on that one.
All right. There's a group of people going there in December.
Great. Let them take lots of photos.
There's
I want to see the ice wall for myself.
there's a guy who's paying for a flat earther and a normal to go there and to Union Glacier at about 80 degrees south latitude and see if the sun does circles around the head or if it just goes away. So
here you go. There's my clock. There's the my clock.
But all right, so over on the right side is the number 3, and there's a moon there, and that one is the minute hand, and the number 9 on the other side is the second hand.
No, that's hand. The other from the right side. See the center moon, number 5, the center moon over here in between the two Earths.
Yeah,
Okay. To the right of that. Okay. Right at the number 3, that's the outer moon. Okay. That's the minute hand. Okay. And the one directly above by the 12,
12,
I'm
yeah.
claiming that's the hour hand.
Okay.
And that's the inner moon. And they both rotate.
They just do circles around the just do circles.
Yeah, both.
Right.
There you go. This is right now it'd be 12:15.
Okay.
According to my calculation, with the 3 over there.
Okay.
So this one is the hour hand, and this one's the minute hand. Only on this Earth.
And one of these moons blocks the sun and makes the sunset.
In addition to the revolving Earth, yes.
But we don't see it at night, blocking
right.
sun.
The moon covers the sun at night. One of the moons does. Right now, I'm claiming this is 12:15 in the afternoon.
But
because there's no sun directly blocking.
Eric, do you know that sunset for some people is middle of the night for others and daytime for others?
Oh, obviously.
Okay.
And in Alaska, they have endless sunlight for a long time due to two suns.
In Alaska, but how does Alaska see it if you have to go to Antarctica to see it?
I don't know if Alaska sees the two suns or not, but Antarctica definitely does. I know in Alaska they have certain days where it's dark for a certain amount of months and light for a certain amount of months.
Yeah, up above the Arctic Circle.
There you go.
Which is well predicted on a globe, because it's tipped, right? Right. So this is the North Pole. If the sun's over here, then it's tipped toward the sun, so you see it. And if it's like over here, right? If the sun's over here, then it's leaned away, so it'll get 6 months of darkness, right? I mean,
according to your Christian theory, which is wrong, but flat Earth, slanted flat Earth accounts for that, and the two suns is what it really accounts for that.
Okay.
According to me, you don't have to believe it. According to me,
I'm having a hard time.
That's okay. You're a brainwashed blue ball believer. I'm sure maybe you're a Jesuit. Are you a Jesuit priest?
I'm not.
Or a Freemason. Are you a Freemason?
I'm not that either. I actually didn't know much about Freemasons before I started talking to flat earthers. Now I know a couple of Freemasons, including a flat earth Freemason.
Well, I'm not. I'm not a Freemason.
No joke.
I'm not a Christian. These are non-Freemason, non-Christian scientific hypothesis.
What is your background?
I'm not a Freemason, and I'm not a Christian.
Okay,
I'm Jewish. I have a Jewish background.
Oh, okay.
That's all. I'm not any kind of special cult or Illuminati. I'm just someone who has a different theory of our universe that we think of customarily. Okay. That I wanted to. I'm glad I had this opportunity. You enlightened me in a couple of things, and I will make note of that.
Okay. So
with regard to my alleged time travel.
All right. You've got this diagram here in the center.
Oh yeah.
So your idea has this pentagram with goat in it?
Yeah, Baphomet. Where the Baphomet? Baphomet. If it's not Christian Science, it's just the opposite. So that's what I call it.
Okay.
Just the opposite of Christian Science.
So this is Baphomet science. Okay.
Satan. Science and technology against non-science.
That's your acronym.
That's my theory, yes.
Oh my gosh. So, all right.
Aren't you glad you brought me on?
Oh my gosh. So I got a message here in the live chat from somebody that lives in Israel. He says he goes by MK Ultra. It's a joke. He says there are 3 suns, and he got sunstruck by all 3. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come up with this. He proves my calculations.
There we go.
That's what he says. So,
hey, brilliant minds think alike, huh?
I don't know about that. So okay. All right. Let's see. So this is people. This is the book, the PDF. He sent me the PDF for me to read, and this is on. This is online. You can buy this book if you want. So here's here's a little.
You judge for yourself. Look at my
tease.
theories, and then figure out if it actually yours work or the accepted. This is the typical Christian flat Earth theory.
Actually, they generally reject this pretty aggressively.
Yeah. The line is on a slant, similar but on a slant.
Flat Earthers hate this one. I sometimes use this just to poke at them because they hate it so much because they don't think
not possible.
They don't
not
think.
Possible.
Well, I agree completely, but they don't think that the Earth is a disk floating in space. So, on yours, so on yours, there's a circle around it. You have this like circle over. What is that?
Well, that's the orbit. That represents the orbits. The orbits of the moon.
The shade,
our atmosphere. I'm claiming we have like a bubble. I'm claiming we have like an atmospheric bubble.
Okay.
With oxygen. Then above that, some kind of
what keeps it in?
Possibly a dome, some kind of dome with maybe water. I'm thinking maybe space isn't maybe ether and an empty vacuum.
Oh,
only reason
you're going back to the Christian theory of that.
Well,
that's what the Christian flat earthers say.
Well, the only reason I mentioned that the space shuttle recently announced that they found plankton on the windshield of the space shuttle. I thought, well, where's plankton on the water? Where else do you find plankton?
Wait, how recently did the space shuttle find this?
Oh, several years ago. You can Google that plankton, space shuttle and plankton on the windshield.
It was, I did.
Oh,
it was not the shuttle. It was the ISS, and it was the Russian part of the ISS, and they thought it was picked up on the way through the air because of the churn of the oceans. So that's the.
I don't know.
When I did my own research, that's what they determined.
I'm not a Jesuit or a Freemason, so I'll never get to go up into space to see for myself. Only Freemasons get to go into space. You do know that, right?
I do know that's not the case. Charlie Duke is not a Freemason, and
who's Charlie Duke?
He was one of the astronauts that went to the moon. He was on Apollo 16. He's not a Freemason.
Really? Well, that's news to me.
Yeah, I did my own research.
Neil Armstrong and all the other astronauts are all Freemasons.
A handful of those that went to the moon were, but not all of them were. And Charlie Duke isn't the only that was not a Freemason, but I know for certain that he is not a Freemason. So
never. Charlie Duke. Okay. Charlie Duke. Let's see.
And William Shatner is Jewish. Do you know that?
Hey, well, he's a Freemason. It doesn't matter. He's a member of the Freemasons.
William Shatner's a Freemason?
Just about all the celebrities are. You don't know that? All the Illuminati and all the Freemasons, or all the celebrities? Just about.
I don't know. Let's see here.
Shaquille O'Neal's a Freemason.
So just saying it doesn't make it the case. So let's see here. I'm not finding Shatner being a Freemason.
Well, maybe he keeps his religious beliefs to himself. Google Shaquille O'Neal.
But hold on. Let me make it clear. If you are saying that William Shatner is a Freemason, you definitely did your own research and have evidence for it, right?
In the past, I've seen websites where he was given all the salutes and the Freemason stuff. Sure. I'll have to do some more research to cite it properly. But yes, in the past.
Certainly, it's pretty well expected that if you're going to make a claim, you should have something to back it up, right?
That's right. That's right.
So, but like for example, Charlie Duke, I can back it up. I've met him in person. I know he's not a Freemason.
Charlie Duke? Never heard of Charlie Duke.
We just covered him 2 minutes ago. Did you have a reset?
Let's see. Charlie Duke.
Apollo 16?
Oh.
Did you seriously just like, whoo? Did it just... Hey, did you just go visit Tesla again?
No, I'm looking up Charles Duke over here. Let's see. Famous Freemasons, blah, blah, blah. Mormons. Let's see. Freemasons. Let's see. The first Freemasons. Charles Duke and John Young. There you go. First Freemasons. Lodge number 197. See, you're wrong. Astronauts Charlie Duke and John Young. There you go.
Charlie, send me the link. Charlie Duke is not a Freemason.
First Freemasons on Logs Peak Masonic Lodge number 197. Antares 1971. Astronauts Charlie Duke and John Young explored the moon's surface. Blah, 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 blah.
All right. Send me the link.
There you go. Sure. No worries. Oh, yeah. He credits his relationship with God and finding the true meaning in his life. There you go. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
There you go. Yes.
Send the email to me.
I'll send you a link. No worries, bro. Let's move on or wrap it up. I'm getting tired. I'm sure you are too.
All right. Well, make sure you send me that link because
I will.
My actual research concluded that he's not a Freemason. So, all right. Let's see if there's anything else in here that. Okay, this is the moon rotation. Here,
solar simulators to help reflect the light back into the suns. I'm claiming our suns are dying out.
Okay. And so they reflect the light back to the sun?
Like a mirror. Yep.
So that it doesn't burn out.
It helps reflect the energy back to it.
That's how it works.
That's my theory. Yeah. Charles Lindbergh.
But that doesn't make any sense. Just shining a light at something doesn't make it not burn out. Oh my gosh. Okay.
There you go. There's your solar simulator patent right there. There you go.
Yeah, I looked
1963.
I looked up this patent. I read the patent.
What's it say?
The patent has an emitter in there right in the center of it that actually produces light. So it has some sort of an incandescent bulb that produces light. So it's not reflecting sunlight. And it's also generally cylindrical. It's got these lenses.
Oh, so it's creating artificial light then. Okay. And reflecting it back into the sun. Okay. No worries.
All right. Okay. And what is this? Is this the ISS now orbits, you think?
Oh, yeah. I'm claiming we can travel from one Earth to the second Earth. No problem. And land in Area 51. No problem.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, what is it? What's on the left? Oh, is that the
the Russian, the Soyuz?
Well,
each different nation, the ones that are in space, have an orbiting space station besides us.
They all do, besides us.
Yeah.
And
unless it's all CGI and filmed in the pool.
What's on the lower right there?
Ukraine maybe, or Ukraine. I don't know.
That's the Russian flag.
Yeah, you're Russian and China. Then you got China over here. Yeah,
and the United States. So I didn't know that Russia had a different ISS than the United States.
According to what I Googled, they got their own. But once again, I'll try to send you a link. I'll try to send you a link to that.
All right. Okay. So this part here, this is just copied from Tesla, right? This was
it's all just Tesla's talking with planets. But I'm claiming it was me who sent him. I'm claiming that was me.
Somewhere in here, it switches to you writing instead of him writing.
Past that. Keep going.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm claiming it was me who sent him the 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So yeah.
There you go. There it is. There's my. There you go. Method of signaling. There we go. Tesla's.
Okay. So hold on.
Tesla patent.
I'm gonna have to write down the things that you gotta send me here. A picture of the radio, right? All right. Let's see.
I'm not going to send you anything. Then you might be able to create your own. Now you got to figure this out on your
own. If it's in the patent, then anybody could do it.
Go ahead. Make your own. See if it works like I did.
But I'm pressing the doubt button. I don't.
There you go. You can doubt it all you want. I'm claiming. You don't have to believe anything I said.
Yeah,
You can
I
build
don't
your
think
own.
you built one at all because
Well, you can build your own.
I don't think you quite have the technical understanding of how
Oh, okay. Well, at this
these
point,
work.
I'm gonna say goodbye and have a nice night, Mike. Goodbye.
Oh,
Thank you. Bye. Bye. Goodbye.
all right. Well, he's trying to boomer his way out. He didn't like me calling BS on making the radio. He obviously never made the radio. And I'm pretty sure he won't send me anything. Oh my gosh. I mean, we this was set for an hour, so we're right at an hour. So I wouldn't call it a rage quit. I think he got a little. But all right, Charlie Duke was not a Mason, is not a Freemason. So, wow, that is nutty. That is nutty as can be. He didn't do any calculations, obviously. And I said, "What did you do?" Oh, well, it matches the 12 o'clock. It just drew a picture. Yes, you did just pull it out of your ass. That's obviously what he did. All right, where did I find this loon? Henry Thrun right there is in the chat. Henry found him on, and he found him somewhere and then sent it to me on X. And then I went to his website and looked him up and said, hey, why don't you come on? So, yeah, thanks, Henry. So let me read a few things here. Stringer News 1 says that Gish Galloper, he'll never answer a question, and he never did. Zoomy Tomato says, in him I sense much potential. I don't think he's a Poe. He calls himself a genius. In his bio of his book, he says a self-described genius. And you be the judge of that, I guess. He did not know that there was a formula for centrifugal acceleration. He thinks that when something spins, that it'll make it go down instead of out. He didn't even know that the globe, that down is towards the center of the globe. I mean, that are these the words of a self-described genius? MK Ultra says, I sent him the idea digitally with my magic antenna. No need to thank me. Thank you, MK Ultra. I mean, don't thank you. No, unthank you. Because you said don't thank me. General E. Shady said too much LSD and lead paint soup. Shrooms, croutons. Yeah, the missing time may have been something like that. CJ Lamro says, what proofs has he brought back with him? Absolutely none. It just works. He did the calculations. Cretan Bell says Tesla heard 3 beeps on his radio receiver and believed that it was a signal from humans on Mars. He had no reason to believe this, and the damage to his reputation probably cost him a Nobel Prize. Thank you, Cretan Bull, for that. Yeah, Tesla was great at some things, and he was terrible at other things. He was a super good engineer, especially early on, but he wasn't good at calculations. So when things like relativity came along and there was a lot of calculations involved, he's like, I don't like it. Why not? Because I don't like it. That was it. Icy Spin says, what shape does gravity cause matter to create? Yes, a spherical shape. That's why flat earthers reject gravity. They have to, or mass attracting mass. They must, because if the earth were flat and gravity existed, then it would collapse flat earth into a sphere in a rather short amount of time. It would be rather disastrous for the next flat earth convention. It could never happen. So Icy Spin says, what size is on your guest's belt? That I have no idea. what that means. Cygnus Step says, who's been a member for 13 months, says, good Lord, what is this? 3 Ron, a member for 11 months, says, LSD needs to be taken before listening to this guy. That might explain the missing time. Mac Fraz says, wow, another living, breathing nitwit showing his proficiency in sheer nitwittery. What a time to be alive. Rise of the nitwits. Icy Spin says, south is opposite direction in Australia / North America. How? Yeah, what a rather juvenile understanding of things to think that gravity goes this way. Gravity goes that way. It's tell you, if anybody describes himself as a genius, they're not. I don't know. I'm open to be proven wrong, but are there people that boast about their geniusness, having said it themselves, not having like somebody else say it first, really, that are actually bright. That there's a lady that's got some super high IQ, and I've watched a few interviews of her, and she's pretty sharp. So I don't doubt that she's smart, and she's taken IQ tests and scored very well. So it's not self-described until after the fact when she's like, okay, well, I got a high score. So that's not what I mean. What I mean is just themselves as their source. So, Toads in My Eyes says, it could be anything except what's been verified. Yes. And do your own research. So many things he's not done his own research on. So many things. I mean, he thinks that the globe is a Christian invention. It predates Christianity. He's like, they're agents. Seriously, he's just grasping. Just the straw grasp. They have to be agents. Everybody I don't like is an agent. All right. Siggy Sigwald says, at this point, we're scratching the bottom of the barrel and finding out there's people far more crazy than flirfs. Yep. And Siggy Sigwald again who's been a member for 15 months, does a member super chat that says 15 months. I may be missing some time somehow. Stringer News 1 says, is he Delbert Grady? Oh, is that the belt buckle, right? Because Delbert is round. Oh no. Oh, there's Delbert Grady. Okay. That's not who I was thinking of. Okay. Yep, he does have that look a little bit. Icy Spin says, does his radio allow talking with dead relatives? Like in the movie Frequency? Steve Ravel says, this guy's worse than Witsit, if that's possible. No, he was way more entertaining. I like him so much more. He didn't like it at the end when I was pressing him a little bit, like that radio. He did not build a radio. He doesn't have a radio. No doubt that radio does not exist. Because he's just like, oh, there's the patent. And I'm looking at the patent, right? And here, I'll get it up on screen. There's nothing, this patent picture, right? He obviously doesn't have any idea about how radios work, from the talk. And this here, this diagram isn't going to show him how to do it. And I'm like, he's like, well, you just have more crystals. Oh, well, obviously you need to do more than just chuck a couple extra crystals in there. They're quartz crystals. Okay. Super, they're quartz crystals. How does it work? I'm not telling you Then you can communicate with Tesla, and Tesla's my guy. I get to talk to him. It's so silly. Oh my gosh. Cody Payne says, is there a third Earth 100 years in our future? If our Eric sent a message to the Tesla on Earth number 2, who sent the message to our Tesla? He kind of screwed that one up, and I didn't get to the this picture. He's like, this one? Oh, that's me down on the end. So actually in his book, he put his name right there on the bottom right corner. That guy in the bottom right corner, he put his name there. He's like, down there in the end. I'm like, well, yeah, but I looked it up and that you're not on the end. and what kind of reasoning would you come to say, I have missing time, therefore this is what I was doing with that missing time? No. And by the way, he doesn't look 15 there. He's like, I'm going to retract that. Like, I mean, he got caught, right? He got caught in obviously having not done his any due diligence on it. So, but yeah, Cody, that is the problem. If he went back in time, or not back in time, because according to him, it's the other Earth. So he went to the other flat Earth and met with Tesla and came back to this Earth, right? So he says he met with Tesla. He says, hold on. Let's see. All right. This right here. Look at this. You don't have to believe my next wild claim either, but it's true. I'm claiming to be the first person from our planet Earth to actually time travel back to our planet, our past on planet Earth number 1 via an anti-gravity flying disc piloted by Nikola Tesla and then safely returned to our planet Earth number 2. I can be seen in this photo above from 1915 along with Tesla Nazi spy accountant George H. Sheriff, Sir Marconi, is this Sir? Sir William Crookes. Yeah, hold on. Oh, George H. Sheriff Sr. Marconi, Sir William Crookes, Marion Crawford, and other radio engineers. The reason you have never heard of me or my amazing discoveries is because the U.S. government, CIA, NSA, and the Vatican don't want you to know about me. We'll tell you, he was on here. And the U.S. government, CIA, NSA, and the Vatican did not stop him from sharing his secrets design of the radio. It was him that stopped himself from sharing the secret design of the radio. So there you go. NASA and the Vatican are lying to the world about the shape of our planet Earth and how our universe really looks. There are, in fact, 2 planet Earths, both flat as a pancake, oval disc shaped, possibly with hollow centers, slanted at 45 degrees. Earth number 2 rotates clockwise on its axis, and Earth number 1 rotates counterclockwise. Think about this. Think about the challenge that he had just answering the question on whether or not the sun rose from the other side. That really shows to me how much he struggles with this basic geometry. This isn't complicated geometry. You're just reversing the order that the sun or that the Earth rotates. And yes, that would absolutely require that. So Earth number 2 that he says we live on rotates clockwise on its axis. So the problem is, of course, if you go to the North Pole versus the South Pole, the star, or just north of the equator and look north and south of the equator and look south, the center of rotation rotates opposite each other. So it doesn't explain this at all, right? The flirts are so northern hemisphere centric. It's amazing that there's any southern hemisphere flirts. Anyway, so I estimate that both planets are I estimate they're 100 million miles away from each other and possibly 100 plus or minus years in time difference. It is the year 2023 on our present Earth number 2 and year 1923 on Earth number 1 are past. It's possible for both planet Earths to communicate with each other via digital binary / Wi-Fi communications. Radio is just a big mystery to him. Think about that. It's just a big mystery to him. Because when I said, that wasn't what you described, isn't binary or digital binary, and it's certainly not Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi is very particular, 802.11. So and it's digital. Like there's nobody in Tesla's time that could receive a digital signal, actually. Because the encoding is critical. And all they had was they just could hear things, right? They just had a speaker hooked up to it so they could hear the dots. And so he's like, oh, I said 3 dots. That's not digital binary. Anyway, it's also possible to time travel to our past Earth within 24 hours via NASA space shuttles. It's 100 million miles away, and you can get there in 24 hours by NASA space shuttles. NASA, the CIA, NSA, and the Vatican keep the scientific fact classified top secret while selling the Christian myth of Jesus to the world. He really has got it out for that. Self-proclaimed world's greatest unknown genius inventor. Well, thank Erik. Don't thank God. Thank Erik ORION that Erik ORION has been gifted to the flat Earth. It's just nutty. So nutty. Okay. Thank you for that one, Cody Payne. Icy Spin says, does paper beating rock suggest Earth is flat? I don't know. Siggy Sigwald says he could even get a job in Antarctica. Yeah, all of his information about Antarctica is wrong. And then he's like, oh, you're going to have to do your own research. We all know this. Do your own research is code for they've not done any research and they can't back up their claims. That's what do your own research means when any conspiracy theorist says it, right? It doesn't matter. If they're into a conspiracy theory, do your own research means they have no evidence. Left-handed Jedi says, how thick is the flat Earth? He doesn't know. It could possibly be hollow. I don't know how a flat disk could be hollow as well. That makes no sense to me. 3Ron says Jews don't believe in Satan. To my knowledge, that's correct, 3Ron. To my knowledge, it's a little bit different, but maybe some can if I'm wrong on that. So Henry's asking, wouldn't Morse code be binary, not digital? You could well, it wasn't Morse code. It was just 3 dots. You could say that Morse code is a rudimentary way of binary encoding data, but definitely not a digital encoding like Wi-Fi. Don't need my earbuds anymore. So digital encoding like Wi-Fi, the data is encoded on it. It has a particular frequency that's important in the encoding of the data. They do things to, it's called digital spread spectrum, and another S, I think, 3 S's, DSSS. Anyway, it's a way to encode, on a carrier wave, the data, and there's very important time frames when things have to shift digitally. So you need to have a computer to decode the things. and a lot more. You need to do some fast Fourier transforms in order to encode and decode the data, because radio likes to be in sine waves, right? Nice round curvy things, and so you take multiple sine waves together and build them together, and you get it draws a, I don't know. When I do things like this, what goes through my head is I'm going to get this I'm going to tone it down. I'm going to simplify it. And then the people that know this are going to come around in the comments. Do it. Go in the comments and tell me how my simplification was too wrong. But anyway, a Fourier transform takes a handful of sine waves and builds them together to give you a different, a particular looking sine wave, right? So here we go. Here's a sine wave. Now, if you take a bunch of them together, typically like first, third, fifth, you take the odd waveforms, and you can get this where, all right, where you get these discrete levels like this. And there's these little pattern, typically these little imperfections in the pattern there, where it goes up and down a little bit, especially on the transitions. When you add together a whole bunch of sine waves that are very particularly done. So anyway, that's a critical part of doing digital communication over radio. And of course, Tesla had none of that. He was just doing rudimentary radio stuff. It was groundbreaking new stuff, high tech of the day. So there you go. Direct sequence spread spectrum. Thank you, Daryl. DSSS. So yeah. And Stringer News 1 says Fourier reduces a complex waveform into component sine functions, right? So it's a way to break them apart so you can get the different ones. It was who is it? Is it Veritasium? That has a really nice video on how Fourier transforms identified nuclear blasts underground. Somebody know what I'm talking about? It was one of the bigger science communicators. Drop that in there. It's a pretty cool video. So anyway, kind of got off on a tangent there. Hugh Jars says this guy only thinks there are two suns because he saw me bending over on a sunny day. That could be. Maybe he also thinks that there's 7 moons because he saw you bending over at night. I don't know. Mac Friend says the nitwittery is strong in this one, Master. he was crazy. He's definitely, I think his idea is I don't know, him or Crazy Eyes. Somebody said, I think Henry was saying I should have a debate between him and a Christian flat earther. I think a debate between him and Crazy Eyes might be fun. Marissa. So, all right. Lord Illuminous Poose's forward joke. Venison's just a little deer. 3 words. Stationary store moves. 2 words. Dwarf shortage. And 1 word. Me. Thank you, Lord Illuminous Pooh. That reminds me. I think it's not him, but in my standalone videos, my pre-recorded videos, I've been adding this little tag at the bottom, some ridiculous one-liner thing. I have a list of them, but it's not that long of a list. So if anybody is like, hey, I could think up a couple interesting one-liners, send them to me. I'll put them on there. And I can't really, maybe I could give you credit if you want. Let me know if you want credit and I'll put it in the description. Otherwise, I'd love to get a couple ideas and you could just say, that was mine, if you want. All right. I think it's Jiffy Cones comes up with a bunch of things like that too. Siggy Stigwald says, got to give MC Toon Live kudos for not dying laughing at this insanity. Adding this vid to my play when I'm sad YouTube playlist. Hilarious. He was great. That was so fun. 3 Ron says Poe gets caught and runs away. Yeah, I don't think he's a Poe, but I'm certain he did not make a radio. He's just kind of LARPing. He's LARPing. CJ Lamoros has activated his flux capacitor and dipped. Melodic Lyric says gravity exists, but also flatland exists. Not sure how that works the way he thinks it does. No, he didn't think through gravity. He didn't think of the ramifications of it. He didn't compute the consequences. He didn't compute anything. Lord Illuminous Pooh says Newton, you can't say I like Newton. You can't say I like them thick. Fine. The greater mass, the greater the attraction. Siggy Sigwald says, I'm a god, I'm a genius, Kanye West. So that's a counterexample. I was asking, who is a self-proclaimed genius, where they're the only one saying it, that actually is geniusy? Kanye, I would not put in that category. Would not. Steve6464 says, are radios still made with crystals? No, modern radios are not. Well, there's still crystals in a lot of timing circuitry. It's not absolute, but a lot of them do, and then they have multipliers. They have different multipliers that are done with, latch circuits and stuff. Digital Logic. My Digital Logic book is right up there. I think. It's the top shelf over there. Is it? Linear circuits, software engineering, Lisp, micro. No, I don't have. I think I have that in a different place. My Digital Logic book. I loved that class. That was a good class. Okay. The Southern Hemisphere has flatzoid. That's enough. Yet there are still flat earthers in the Southern Hemisphere. They're so of the dumb people that are flat earthers, right? You have to be a different level of dumb to be a Southern Hemisphere flat earther. Like there's this range that's possible if you live in the Northern Hemisphere, but the dumbness, it has a narrower band pass filter on it, or low pass filter on it. I get my thumb out of there because there's no bottom. There's no limit to how dumb they can be. So you've got right, also no thumb there. Right, here's a band pass filter. It only allows frequencies in a certain range. Here's a low pass filter. It lets everything below that range through. So here's the Northern Hemisphere flurfs. Here's the Southern Hemisphere flurfs. Dumber. I'm not drunk, Zaroos. I've had two mugs of Toonshine, both of them 0 proof. MK Ultra says Morse code is just clicks, so it's digital. Yeah, it counts as a, I suppose, in digital in that sense. But when we're talking about Wi-Fi, because we use Wi-Fi in the same sentence, it's definitely not in the same category as Wi-Fi. Why did he say Wi-Fi? Because he doesn't have a clue what Wi-Fi is. Right? He doesn't know how radio works. He doesn't know how centrifugal acceleration works. He doesn't know that gravity is incompatibility with his disk floating in space idea. He doesn't know that a spinning top would not cause you to. How bad is that? Like who hasn't spun a bucket to see that the water goes to the outside of the perimeter of the spin, right? You can hold it sideways and spin around. You can go up and down and spin around. It doesn't matter. The water is pressed to the outside of it. Why would a 45-degree spinning earth cause it to go this way, right? Back to this way. It would make it go this way, out. He didn't get that. That's sad. All right. Otto says flat and hollow is calzone earth. Oh my gosh. fold it over. But it's not hollow. Okay, he who divides by zero. Excellent super chat. Excellent name, has a super chat. Tesla did a great job designing electric motor windings, but he was wrong about a lot of things. Yes. Radio, some pioneering things in radio. Super cool. Electric distribution, did awesome. Electric motors, super awesome. Understanding physics, terrible. But Flurfs, they love him. They're like, oh, and he was so misunderstood. No, he wasn't. At the time, it was cutting edge. Every scientist that's coming out with some cutting edge stuff that turns out to be right later tends to be misunderstood, or at least, initially people are like, I don't know about that. That's common. But nowadays, the stuff that Tesla figured out is not a mystery. Nobody's scratching their head wondering how it works, right? The way that he was trying to transmit electricity, I have an inductive charger for my phone right here. It's not the same, but part of it is he was trying to send electrons through the air. That's what he's trying to do. The inductive charger is done by a time-varying magnetic field, electromagnetic field. He was trying to actually send electrons through the air by setting up a standing wave around the Earth. But he didn't know 60,000 volts per square centimeter would cause lightning. So that wasn't figured out well at the time. Serena's one says, Westinghouse had to hire a real EE, electrical engineer, to do the things that Tesla patented but couldn't turn into working products. Yeah, so Tesla worked for Westinghouse. And Westinghouse was the guy, the company that figured out electric power distribution to make it work through alternating current. Edison was trying to do it through direct current, and there are problems doing it with direct current. Its voltage drop is the big problem. You have your transmission from the where you generate it, from the generator, and you have a voltage drop as it moves. This happens in alternating current as well, but to step down the voltage, they didn't initially step it down. They'd send it out at a high voltage, but by the time you got to the end of the line, it had dropped the voltage because it's directly proportional to how long it goes and the resistance of the wire. And all wire has resistance unless it's a superconductor, which didn't exist at the time, so it didn't matter. So the solution that we use today is you step up the voltage. It's easy to do for alternating current, much less efficient with direct current, and then transmit it high voltage and then step it back down to where you need it to lower voltage at the other end of the transmission line. And so if it drops by 10 volts for every certain distance, you step it up to 60,000 volts. And by the time you go it's harder, it's more complex than that. But by the time you get to the other end, then you drop down the voltage. But with direct current, it sucks to do that kind of stuff. Anyway, so Westinghouse figured it out. Edison lost that. And one of the saddest parts of it is Edison turned out to be a little scummy. Edison wanted to vilify Westinghouse's power distribution. So he tried to coin a term of getting electrocuted, but instead of getting electrocuted, he tried to say you got Westinghoused or something like that, right? It didn't flow off the tongue. And then the really, really sad part was that Edison designed an electric chair using alternating current as in an attempt sort of to make the Westinghouse power distribution look bad. But it didn't work. They used it and it didn't work. So the guy that it was used on suffered a lot. It was terrible because to actually make it work, you need direct current because it stops the heart from beating. If it's an alternating current, it causes the muscles to fluctuate. So the electric chairs are actually direct current. The very technology that Edison was promoting. So how's that for a tangent? Melodic Lyrics says, speaking of dwarves, have you tried the Steam version of Dwarf Fortress? I have not. I have not played Dwarf Fortress for quite a while. And I don't want to put that much time into it. But let me see. When was the last time? Do I have it here. Jeez. DF 45_05. So if somebody wants to look up, that was the last version of Dwarf Fortress I used. Then you'll know. Siggy Sigwald says, love it when the stream gets nerdy. You want me to talk nerdy to you? Lord of Luminous Poo says, true story, testing me for retardation was the 80s and found out I have dyslexia, ADHD, and I'm 6 points away from Einstein if you believe in IQ. Cool. I think you'll find an awful lot of that around. I suspect that everybody, that you can put everybody on a dyslexia spectrum. You can put everybody on an ADHD, Asperger's spectrum. Obviously, IQ is a spectrum. A lot of these things that's how it is. So, oh my goodness. Extra J says, but AC hurts way more when you touch the wires. And he spelled Hertz, Hertz. No. It depends on the voltage, of course, and the current that can go through it. So, DIY Mixes, are you going to Antarctica? I wasn't sure based on your response to the final experiment. I would love to go to Antarctica. But there's some logistical challenges for me to go. Not saying that I couldn't, but there are some logistical challenges. And I suggested Dave McKeegan going. The reason why is because he doesn't do debates. I thought Simon Dan was also good, but he can't go that time in particular. So I suggested Dave. That's my person. So there's others on the list if you want to vote for it over on the Final Experiment YouTube channel. And so Dave McKeegan is, he doesn't get the animosity, and he's a little bit newer. So I look at that. They attack me. You go on Twitter, there's channels devoted to myself and FTFE and a couple others like trying to smear us, actively, aggressively trying to smear us. So I'm like, I would not want to go and then some flat earther not go because of it also. So I will say, you guys go. It's more important that the flat earthers go there. So I'm willing to put my money to crowdfund more flat earthers to go. So the ticket alone is $31,000. And they need to fly to Chile. They need overnight accommodation, at least one day in Chile, probably potentially even time on the other side on the way out. They need cold weather gear. So there's probably another $5,000 more than just the 31 to go to Antarctica. So, if it works 100%, if flat earthers go, and if flat earthers are honest, and that's what they're not, but if they were to do that and see the sun doing circles around and Flat earthers have said if they saw the sun doing circles around Earth's a globe, if they did that and they were honest and the other flat earthers said that flat earther said so, I don't have a reason to not believe it, then there would be essentially no more flat earthers. What's the likelihood of that happening? You comment in the comments. But if that were to happen, there would be this channel could not be the same. I get that. I am willing to do that. I am willing to pay money to do that. This isn't about the money for me, right? I don't get me wrong. It's great. It funds me to be able to do this more, and other parts of, if I didn't, I would do something else to earn some supplemental money. But if they all went away tomorrow, I'm employed, I write email software, I'm okay. So, but I will pay to make this hobby go away. Think about that. And flat earthers, will they accept free money to test their belief, knowing that the same thing might happen? Are they willing to do that? I hope they are. Right? It's a tough one. Put yourself in the flat earther's shoes. They know. Every one of them knows that if they were to find themselves in Antarctica at 80 degrees south latitude in December, every one of them knows what they're going to see. They know they're going to see the sun doing circles the whole time they're there. It's never going to set, and it's going to go 360 degrees around them. They know that. That has to scare them to death, because that is the end. They know that either they have to be honest and accept it, or they have to make up a new lie. Right? So if they are actually truth seekers, they should jump at this, I think. And if they are scared of their grift going away, then they will tell us with their actions. So, QC says Flat Earth Dave should take the risk. If he loses, just come back as Senor Dave with the fake mustache. Oh my gosh. All right. Flat Earth Dave, no. So, I mean, I would love to see it too. So Shifty Eye is shady. The beauty of this is everybody is invited, knowing that it's a difficult trip and that not many will come. But there are flat earthers with money. Flat Earth Millionaire says he's a millionaire. There's another one, I won't say his name, that I've messaged on Facebook Messenger. He's got a lot of money. He was remember when that pilot was going to do the flight over Antarctica and there was a crowd fund? He actually put money into that crowd fund. It was an all or nothing, so no money actually transacted. He put money into it. He bought like a whole pile of seats. So he was in on that. I haven't heard back from him on this one. But certainly Dave could fund it himself if he cared about the truth. Austin months ago was saying that he was planning to go to Antarctica. This trip is cheaper than he could get himself. So even just paying his own way, this is a cheaper way for him to go. So Lord Illuminous Pooh says, fine. Invoice for 32 bad jokes at $5 each. $160 for the check. My friends call me Cash. What did I misunderstand? Oh my gosh. Real Cygnus says, damn, got caught up laughing at Austin. Wasn't expecting a Moon's Day. You were laughing at Austin? Is he doing something? Lubo in China, this is great. Yeah. Whoever will go, he will become famous for hashtag thanks underscore and then their name. Yeah. Bob Nodell, Jaron, or do the. This is the thing that I don't think that any of them ponder this. They don't. I don't think for a second they do. That they think that they'd go there and that the sun would set. They don't think that. I don't think any flat earther suspects that if they were to go to Antarctica that they would see the sunset. I'm maybe I'm wrong. Maybe a flat earther has said that. That's what they think would happen. Send it to me. I really think that the reason why they are so far being a little bit resistive is because they know the sun will do circles around them for 24 hours a day. Martin H says, do you know what happens if nobody wants to go? Or just a normal person? Does the whole thing get canceled? No, it's going to happen either way. It's definitely going to happen. So everybody's invited. If you want to go, if you can pay for yourself to go, you can go. Email Will Duffy. The final experiment is just on YouTube. You can get to the website. The email address is there. The email address is on the I think it's just the final experiment 24 at gmail.com, I think. So, everybody, yeah. So somebody's going to go. There's no doubt. If it's Dave McKeegan and Will Duffy, they'll go. They'll bring cameras. They'll bring 24-hour stuff. They'll see if they can live stream. But I think there will probably be other people that say that they want to join, and the invitation is open to them. So, Emerson Biggins says, whichever flurf go should be required to predict what they will see before they leave. That is something no flat earther will ever do. They hate it. They know. Because every time that a flat earther makes a prediction, it's wrong. Every time. Right? Flat Earth has no predictive power. What time will the sun set? They don't know. Where will what angle will the sun be at the time that it sets? They don't know. It doesn't work. What will the sun look like? What will the sun do at any spot on the surface of the earth? There is no answer using flat earth geometry for any position on the earth. None. Real Cygnus says Austin was just on the Lore Lodge channel and he kind of said when the sun goes behind the clouds, it's just as good as setting in so many words. Really? See, there's the excuse. It's just as good as setting when it's behind clouds. Well, it's dumb. Well, look. All right, let's give a little thing here. Anyway, all right, I'm going to show you this. This is, look at that one. See that? That's a tag for it. It's an airport tag. And then I have this one here. I won't say their names, but my friends from Paris, France, that met me in Paris, Texas, gave me these. That's Sydney, and what's the other one? Santiago. This is the airports that disproves flat Earth. Thank you very much for these. And also, right there, Charles de Gaulle Airport. They were so kind. Give me a few different things here. Anyway, so let's say that this is a cloud. I mean, how stupid can you be? I'm looking for the sun. I'm looking for the sun. Oh, here we go. this is a Sacagawea dollar. This is a dollar coin, a U.S. dollar coin. We don't have a lot of them. All right, so here's the sun going across the sky, going across the sky, and then, oh, look, here's a cloud. All right, well, let me put it here. Oh, no, the sunset. The sun doesn't exist anymore. Where did it go? Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's peeking out. Nope, it went away. It's peeking out. No, it went. Obviously, it's there. It's behind clouds. And then, now we see it again. It went away. No, it didn't, you idiot. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Oh, they're just desperate. But I said last week, Austin is going to be a geocentrist. Right? Any flurf that goes, that's going to be one of their potential outs. So, but go ahead, go do that. Here's the question to you. Do you think that very many flat earthers will be convinced? Others, right? Because when Bob and Jaron did their experiments and they that didn't go how they wanted. When that happened, the other flurfs didn't say, "Oh, well, I'll accept that evidence." They said, "Bob and Jaron are shills." That's what they said. There are lots of flat earthers that claim Bob and Jaron are shills. So those people already say Jaron is a shill. When Jaron goes, if he goes, and then says, "Yep, I saw the sun circling around overhead," those same people are going to say, "Yep, Jaron's a shill." That's what they're going to say. Of course, everybody else can say, "A flat earther went to Antarctica, saw the sun orbiting," and not orbiting, doing in circles. So, the flat earthers that are deep invested into the cult, whatever, they can go into their dwindling echo chambers after this. But it would make, it's super, it's, how do you deny that? Here is the sun doing that. Flat Earth doesn't have an explanation. And when flat earthers say caustic coffee cup or coffee cup caustic, so that's where you take a coffee cup, right? And if you shine a light, I don't have it, but if you shine a light from over here, it creates a pattern on the bottom of the cup. They're like, "Oh, that's the light pattern of flat Earth," but it doesn't match because it's not an oval. It doesn't. It's a cardioid. It looks like a butt. So cardioid. So it doesn't even match. But they're like, "Oh, that's what explains it." That kind of nonsense generally just works on the ones that are already deep in the cult to confirm their own bias. So anyway, did anybody find out the version of Dwarf Fortress 43.05? I'll look that up here. 4305. Well, just typing DF doesn't find much. There we go. Dwarf Therapist 2007, 2016. There it is. 2016 was the last time I played Dwarf Fortress. So there you go. Steve Bauman says flirts are already saying that seeing a light in the sky for 24 hours doesn't mean anything. I'm shocked. Yeah, that shows that they're dishonest. Right? It just shows the level of lies that they're willing to go to. When we say gotta light a flurf, it's because of that kind of stuff. All they're doing is proving that they lie. So anyway, tomorrow I have a debate on modern day debate with Toby from the Aether Cosmology gang of derps. That'll be on modern day debate. So I will be starting, I think that starts at 8 o'clock Central Time. I'll be starting here about 15 minutes before that. So be looking for that. It is, does the, something about does the Earth move in the solar system? So, and you can predict what Witsit points he's going to parrot. So, Lubo in China, who would be the most suitable and most likely to go there and become a glober after going there? Brian Leakey? Oh my gosh. Well, there's two different questions there. Most suitable and most likely to become a glober. Or most likely to accept the results. Right? Let's go with that. Most likely to accept the results, whatever they show. We know what they're going to show. They know what it's going to show. Who's the most suitable? That's the harder question. I think that there may be some that would go and say, yep, Earth's a globe. The important question is which could go, and the other flat earthers say, oh, well, that person saw it. I'll take what they saw. And that question is the problem is flat earth is in tribes. So if they're outside of the tribe, that they're right. If it was Oakley that went, nobody outside of Oakley would care. And most people inside of Oakley's clan would not care. If it was Jaren, only the people in the Globebusters clan would care. Right? If it was Dell from behind the imaginary curve, it would only be the 14 people in Dell's echo chamber that care. If it was Dean Odell, it would only be the hyper-religious religiflurfs that would have anything to say about it. And they probably wouldn't even care in the least because they're super indoctrinated into their cult. So I don't know. I think probably the only one that could go and convince people is Arwen, because everybody looks up to Arwen. I couldn't say it with a straight face. Sorry. Oh, little Arwen. Okay. Anyway, people, be looking for that. I might do one on Wednesday. So Austin was on that whatever lore channel doing a debate. I've not watched it yet. If you want, I'll do it right now. If you want to see a Wednesday this week review of that. Oh yeah, one more thing about Wednesday. So, all right, there we go. So, a couple weeks ago, I had What a Pizza Poo on. And he was, on Wednesday, he was going to drive from Milwaukee here. And we were going to go to a restaurant. And he backed out. No surprise, he backed out. So, if you already made plans, if you made travel plans, you're like, I'm going to go, email me, message me on Discord, Twitter, or Discord X or Facebook, and let me know, and I'll make that happen. But otherwise, I'll plan something and give at least 2-3 week notice for doing something somewhere. I did it last summer. It was a good time. A handful of people came, so I'll schedule that. But like I said, if you were excited and you made plans to come somewhere this Wednesday and that changed it, I'll be happy. We'll absolutely, because I'm probably gonna go get Indian food on Wednesday anyway. Because now I gotta have me some Indian food. So let me know if you still want to. So anyway, that would be dinner time on Wednesday. The poll is about Wednesday would be later, 8 or 9 p.m. Central Time. We're getting a lot of yeses, 79% yeses. So that'd be super. I will try to make that happen. I think the schedule will allow. So, oh dear. Okay. Stringer News 1 says, for my check, my friends called me Void. You see, when you write out a check, you put void across it. You can't. Never mind. Cretan Ball says Cece needs to go. His wife needs some time away. Yeah, she might really contribute to the crowdfunding. Like, he only needs, 31,000 plus another 5, and somehow a last minute mystery donation came in for $150,000 to take an extended 1 year full trip to Antarctica. Who knows who did that? But it just said in the comment, you're an idiot. All right. Anyway, people, thank you very much for coming along for the super chats, for the fun time. Thank you to Erik ORION for his amazing flat Earth model calculations and all. We'll see you all next time. Here we go.
MC2, drop that beat.
All right. Let it flow. Let yourself go. So I know that is the tempo.
So, yeah, let's do this. So,
let's do this. Yo, it's MC2, the debunking tycoon. I shatter flat earthers, make them face the moon. Your attempts are decent, but they'll swoon in the face of my logic. Like MC2, the debunking tycoon.
Oh, MC2,
I shatter flat earthers, make them face the moon. Your attempts are decent, but they'll swoon in the face of my logic. Like a white hole through, swoon ignorant to, or just ready to fuse. FDFB stands for fumbling the facts, evidently. I drop truth bombs so splendidly. Your approach is soft, mine's unrelenting. I bring the science while you're just venting.
MC2, the buffoon with silver spoon. I tackle pseudoscience, make them change their tune. You're the sidekick, I'm the room. When it comes to debunking, I'm the room.
But hey, FTFE, we share the creed to educate and debunk, plant the seed. Though in this rap, it's clear indeed I've got the upper hand in word and deed. All right, hold on a second. The Zoom call died. Everything died. No.